Alright, I just woke up. I just got spoiled by it. Why is it a Fire Emblem character? I mean, uh, why is it a Fire Emblem character? Why? No one expected this. Fuck off. Like, this is, What? Huh? Wait. No. Wait. Cuphead's not a character. Cuphead is not a character. No. Oh, no, it's a costume. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes more sense. Why is Fire Emblem a god? My one buddy's excited, but I'm not. Fuck, why?
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharas upon our enemies!
I never thought the 3... I was thinking the 3 was gonna be, like, anything but Fire Emblem.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
Whoa. Maybe.
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet... there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
What?
Huh?
That's so...
Join
yeah,
Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
I'm really disappointed. Dude! I mean, like, yeah, sure, he should be in the game. Why does he have a sword?
So
Why does he have a fucking sword?
Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Oh, but he's got that sword. Okay, okay. That's dope. It's funny, in my D&D group, this is actually the weapon I'm trying to get eventually, is a sword that can also turn into a whip. I think it looks so fucking cool. Okay. At least he has this sword.
So you
But why is it a sword?
Sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there?
Yes.
And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Oh, I like that. I really like that. They actually...
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness.
They're actually
this
bringing
time.
up that there's too many swords. I like that. Yeah, dude.
How is this?
Awesome. Nice. Now we have an actually different character.
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
Okay. Okay.
With Arid Fire, strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power.
Okay, I like the axe. That's cool. Nice.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction. Your will and
Oh, I like
mine
that
be
map.
now as one. To you, both sides of time are revealed.
Nice, and that
Through
whip.
Smash, show the world.
Oh my fucking god, dudes. I wanted like Dante or Crash, or I would even go as far as like, okay, well that's hilarious. He's so excited.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was
I mean, I
released
can't
just last
help
summer,
but
so it's
smile
still
at
very
it though,
new.
because
Even
like,
so, you'll soon be
this
able to
is
play as them in Super
like,
Smash Bros.
So
Ultimate.
special to him. I get okay.
This
whatever.
release is planned for January 28th. You'll have instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass,
That's
and it will
hilarious.
also be available for purchase individually. In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses,
That's
I'll explain a
interesting,
few
the
things,
background
so
was
don't
green.
worry. First off, what
There's
is
a
Fire
theory
Emblem?
that since there was a brown outline
It's really
behind
hard to pronounce in
Sakurai, that it
Japanese.
was going to be like
The producer said it's
someone
okay if I
with
just say Fire
orange or
Emblem.
brown.
But when
So
writing
it's
it, if you don't write
interesting.
Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle.
I'm still shocked.
When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command
Why is
tanks,
it Fire
aircrafts,
Emblem?
and so on.
I-
But Fire Emblem was
main
unique
thing was I
because
thought
each
this
unit
pass was
was a
supposed to be
specific
like,
character, sort of like in role-playing games.
like trying to get new characters outside of Nintendo stuff.
Plus,
so this is
something
weird.
made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die.
Yeah.
That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes. But really, if a character fell in battle, you'd lose that unit. They'd be gone and you couldn't use them again. Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you. But a lot of games now allow strategic
This is so
withdrawals, so to speak.
Nintendo though, where it's so left field.
In the older games, your
Everyone
units
was just
would
like,
really
nah,
be gone, never to be
it's gonna
mentioned
be
again.
like,
Scary.
everyone was saying it was Dante.
The game's stories are told like chronicles
Like,
of war,
nah.
with increasingly
That's
distinct
fucking
characters
Fire
and
Emblem.
engrossing scenarios.
We know you hate it, but you're just gonna have it anyway.
Several
No, we
characters
love
also
it.
appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for this. When I was considering how to incorporate Fire Emblem fighters into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn. And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series.
Jesus.
People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many?
Yeah.
Well, if you include Fire Emblem Heroes in the remakes, but you don't include the Satellaview game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
Does
I'll
it
give
go
it a
them
try.
all by order? Nice. Well, that's what me and Pokemon, so I get it.
封印の剣烈火の剣、聖魔の功績、草原の奇跡、暁の女神、心眼黒竜新紋章、覚醒イフヒーローズエコーズ風化雪月。
There you go, 17.
There's a 3.
今変な数え方してます
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
つまりこれが
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome,
like
isn't it? You can actually count up to 31 on one hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
畳の数を数えるでの数
I
を
love
If you've
that
given
you
up
just
counting the
just
knots in a
have just
tatami mat,
binary.
you could always give it a go.
Yeah, yeah.
What is Fire Emblem Three Houses? In Japanese, the male version of the main character is called Byleth, and the female version is called Byleth, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses.
Fun, but
after a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in their
should have
regions.
been brought in.
It's a very sad game in which your former allies become enemies,
I feel
turn
like
hostile,
if
and
it's
try
brought
to
into
kill
the
you.
next one, it would have made total sense. It would have been cool, but
To understand the
I don't feel like
concept
this
of
is
Fire
the
Emblem
best
3
time to
Houses,
do it.
I played an early version of the game before its release. I've done the same thing before,
whatever.
with The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example, because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter. I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it. And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference. The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different.
Song sounds pretty good though.
Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story.
Right.
I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand.
Okay. Yeah, I still do want to play this game. So.
Before my demonstration, I should point out that when I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release.
Oh, Jesus.
Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a
How
bit
does
from the
not get
finished
leaked
version.
out then?
As always, I'm using a
That's
special
not- I'm
in-game camera and
confused
such
about
for demonstration purposes. Here I go.
I guess I did really well at not leaking it.
So, this is our new fighter, Byleth. Sadly, they're lacking in mobility.
I can't
It's maybe a
just
bit better than
another
Robin's, but that's
Fire
about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're
How many
distance
characters is
demon.
that now? Yeah, because
The hero's relic they use changes depending on the
Ike,
direction you input with the stick.
Cena,
Each of the hero's relics is
Robin,
a weapon that appears in Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Corin.
They look like bones, and there's a reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward impulse,
Crom.
the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon.
Rice?
They
Is that his
use it
name?
for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip.
Yeah, so there's like, I think there's
They
8.
also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves.
Jesus Christ, there are 8 characters.
For their up smash attack,
I mean, I guess it's not that bad.
they'll whip
'Cause
the sword
Mario's
upward
got
to launch
punch.
enemies in the air.
I mean, it's so
For
so
their up air
odd.
attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead.
That's cool.
The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something. The sword extends like this, allowing you to do things like this.
I like that.
It was pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Wow,
you can do awful things like this.
that looks very awful.
That said, you'll launch opponents
Oh,
upward until their damage
very
reaches a certain
dangerous.
percentage.
I don't want that happening to me.
Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful
It's
to
almost like
mimic
you
a dodge.
look away from your opponent and like,
I've already
like an
shown this, but
explosion,
you can
like,
also
behind
use
you.
it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special.
nice.
Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side
it
smash
weaker,
attack.
though?
This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
I feel like it's gonna be cheap then. Oh, it's Byleth.
Also, if you add an
What did
upward
I
tilt,
say?
it will be
Reef?
stronger.
そして
And if you've knocked an opponent down,
Alright.
the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them.
下をちゃんと狙おうということです。
By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful.
この柄の部分
The shaft part is weaker,
Uh-oh.
だから
so it's not
Marth.
suited to close combat.
It's another Marth.
It won't deal
That's
much
fine.
damage, and it won't launch opponents far.
I mean, I hate it in
That's
melee,
why,
but
as a
that's
rule,
okay.
You want to hit with the blade part aimed upward,
正確に当てるというのがいい使い方。
or downward in this case.
そして横
Next, the side special.
Ugh. Not his tip.
このまんま
Gotta watch out for Marth's tip.
Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
Holy fuck.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this.
That was got good distance.
ただし
But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so be careful.
Oh.
Use it in midair and you'll carve up a large area. Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well.
I'm just nervous this is gonna
Although
be
you'll be
another
vulnerable
hero
when you
thing
land.
where it's just like he gave a lot of
Now, for the downward inputs.
different attacks.
For these, Byleth will
to
use
this
an axe called
character.
Ymir.
Yeah, like, which is fair. You know,
It's named after a weapon that appears in
Like-
Ugaritic myth.
he really likes
First, the down air attack.
adding stuff to characters.
really
yeah,
is
like,
strong.
It might become.
You can
little
try for a meteor
overpowered.
effect with this attack. Next is the down smash attack. A heavy swing of the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth
I
channels all
really
their
like
energy
that.
into a devastating
I
strike.
really like the big.
It's a bold move,
heavy axe.
similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
Oh,
which allows you to withstand an attack.
why isn't
Just
Captain
so you know,
Falcon
if
have
you
that?
execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time, it plays out like this.
Oh,
It's a bit slower than the Falcon
That-
Punch,
I
but
don't
due
like
to the
that.
super armor effect, you have the advantage, unless you get grabbed.
Oh, okay, cool.
Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms like this to reach a lower area. It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack.
I feel like that's gonna be a little.
Also, you can turn
overpowered, though.
around during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction.
Oh, I don't.
Even though it
Ah,
can be hard to land a hit with this move,
I'm only
can be
cringing
really
because
effective
sometimes
when
Fire
used
Emblem
against a group of
characters can be like
opponents.
really hard to go against.
plus, even if you fail to
And
land a
you
direct
don't
hit,
necessarily
any
even have
opponents
to
on the ground
be,
nearby
like,
will still be
great
launched a
at the
little.
game.
It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them. By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the other Fire Emblem characters' moves. I don't recommend using this down special against fighters from the Fire Emblem series, because you'll just get loads of counters.
Right.
It hits
Oh,
with
okay.
that much
Does he
power
not
in
have
a
a counter?
single attack. Counters can actually multiply the power of blocked attacks, and using easily anticipated attacks like this could just get you hit by counter after counter.
Maybe it's different then, because if he doesn't have a counter,
Next,
oh
we
well,
have the
he
neutral
kind
moves.
of does. Now that I think
The
about
bow
it.
you
The
use is
charge
called
attack's
Failnot,
kind
which
of a
shares its name with the bow
counter.
from the Knights of the Round Table. It
kind
only
of.
appears in a few neutral moves.
Not fully,
You've got the
but-
neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him.
Oh, that's
It lets you spin the weapon around. It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the
like
biggest
Link's.
difference between this bow and Link's
they
is
just
that
took
once
the
you enter the
animation.
command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button.
Well, I'm very tired.
You can also change direction while in
I
the
woke up
stance.
for this.
It works up until
I'm
this
happy
point,
just-
but if you keep holding the
It's
button,
Fire Emblem. I don't
You
want Fire
unleash-
Emblem. I wanted like Dante. I thought that would have been dope.
a powerful
Okay,
arrow
that was
that
pretty
looks like
dope,
a beam
but-
of light. You can perform this move
Whatever.
by keeping the button held down.
Whatever.
You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it, not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Ooh.
Once you've entered the stance, you won't be able to do anything,
Okay, I do like that.
which means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move
Like
with a
that.
reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version. As you can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together.
I don't like that one. I don't like that final smash right there.
Now,
Thought
let's
it
talk
looked
about the
cool
color
earlier, but
variations.
I didn't really
It's
see
set
it.
up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations
got
are
mixed
male,
up.
while the even-numbered ones are female. However, the third, fourth,
Oh.
and fifth colors
Oh.
are, as you can
Okay,
see,
the colors.
reminiscent of the house leaders.
That's cool.
Those of you who've played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to.
Yes.
The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier.
Oh, okay, I like that.
And the seventh and eighth variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story. Didn't we see this variation in the final smash?
Right, did we? I don't know, did we? I didn't see it.
Next, I'll introduce the stage. For this one, we of course tried to recreate the place where you spend most of the game, Garreg Mach Monastery. This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge,
Oh,
cathedral,
it
all in one
switches through
stage.
all. I like that.
It's the type of stage that rotates through different areas, such as these four.
Yeah, I like the primary areas.
Let me
I like
introduce
that.
each of the guests that appear in these four areas. The first area is the marketplace. I think this is where a lot of people come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid.
Nice.
Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus.
Doo-doo.
Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future king. He had quite a difficult life and may or may not end up
Why
with just
why
one eye.
doo-doo?
He's an unfortunate one, that one.
I'm just gonna call
There
him
are
doo-doo
vendors
now.
on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but
Oh, you can break down the... Nice.
here you can break them, you see.
I like that.
If you do break them, the stage will expand to the left and right. I wonder where people will buy their supplies now. And in the background, you can see the gatekeeper. You often pass through this area in Fire Emblem 3 houses, and you end up talking to him a lot.
Oh.
Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop, you'll come crashing back down. We've broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building.
Nice.
And the guests in the reception
girl
hall are
characters.
Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra, the Black
Uh-oh.
Eagles.
Watch
Take
out,
note,
man.
it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire. And as such,
I'm a
they
man.
embrace their military might.
I'm into what... I'm just kidding.
Edelgard is one of the characters who is central to the conflict. Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's possible to knock them down.
Oh, got some damage.
However, Byleth can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters though.
Wait, really?
So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone.
That's hilarious.
There we go, I made it. And you can knock it down.
That's funny, you can't get up there.
Also, you can break this table. Like so.
I love that. This is so
Just like the sign
unnecessary.
that reads
from
Fudin
Sakurai, I still
Kaza
love
in the
it.
Suzaku Castle stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range.
By the way, you can break this table. Just to let you know.
Next up, the bridge. The
Thank you,
camera
Sakurai.
rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed. It's similar to the Bridge of Elden stage. The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence. They belong to the Leicester Alliance. Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training. As for the bridge's design, it's just a long pathway,
I do like that
plain and
bridge.
simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen.
Oh, damn.
You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly.
Like, sure, I'm upset that like it's Fire Emblem.
The last area is the
At the same
cathedral,
time, like
only with some
I'm gonna have
platforms
fun
you can
playing
pass
as
through.
it. Like,
The
no
guests
joke,
appearing
it'll
in
be
the
fun.
cathedral are Sedith, Flayn, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his
Is
sister.
that why
Flayn.
his hair turns
She seems to
green?
be under the protection of him
Just-
and
I don't
Rhea,
know, I'm
who
just
you can
kinda
see
guessing.
fighting
I
during the
haven't played
opening
yet,
of
but,
Fire
like,
Emblem
sound-
Three Houses.
Something to
All
do with
three
that
have
family.
character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flame might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I was gonna say why they have
This is a
green hair.
simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side.
Doing all the DLC.
Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker!
He's killing them all.
And Hero! Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the professor here. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily. Uh-oh, this is bad.
Uh-oh, get out of there.
Renegades.
Get out of there, Sakurai.
I better keep my distance.
Yes, Sakurai. you
I'll use
should
this
do
chance to
that.
attack. Got it.
Damn, I'm tired.
That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here. Lots of explosives. Ouch. He perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom.
Yeah, there. You call him Mom.
You're in a good spot, Mom. Ah, I shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir.
I like that.
Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At
I'm,
this
I'm
point,
just-
it
I'm
doesn't
actually
matter
gonna
if
start
Gardevoir's there or
calling
not.
Mother Brain Mom now. I love that.
I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it.
It's like, have you fought Mom in Super
But I
Metroid
mustn't give
yet?
up.
Ooh,
I can't waste this
you know,
chance.
Mom.
There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it.
Oh, that was dope.
Now! What are you charging up for?
Okay, well now it looks.
There's still
Why
more.
did it look cooler?
Whack! Go on, you can take the hammer.
Maybe I
but
do
it's
like
mine.
the final smash. I don't know.
Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him! I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
Yeah, music.
Now, about the additional music. Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added.
Oh, that's good. That's a good amount.
This includes an arrangement of the
Yeah,
main
Mike,
theme
don't
in
go
both
overboard this
Japanese
time,
and
under
English.
50. You'll have to
I
do
hope
that
you'll
to
enjoy
us.
these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters.
I don't know. It's
So this
weird.
is
It
Legend
just
class.
doesn't fit within this pass.
Also, there's a new
It really
classic called
doesn't.
Round, a
It's
heroic
just like
legacy, which is designed to
all
let you
different
enjoy
characters
classic
from
Fire
different,
Emblem stages from throughout the
like,
series' history.
Things, and then it's just like Fire
The final
Emblem.
battle is
It's
against
like,
Master
what?
Hand and Crazy Hand, but you'll find
mean,
that something pretty
he
amusing
does break
happens, so look
patterns.
forward to that.
I don't know.
Now for the
I'm
Mii Fighter
weirded out by
costumes.
it.
Please take a look.
My one buddy Jake, he's probably super happy. Oh, Mii Fighters. Okay, I want to see this. Yes, there's a Cuphead. There's a Cuphead one. They got Mugman too. I find this weird. I don't really want. I mean, whatever. Rabbids? Uh-oh. Rabbids are gonna fuck you up. Fuck up that shit. Oh, another Mega Man. Oh. Okie doke. Oh, Battle Network one. Are the Mega Man ones so fairly old? I don't really know. I feel like they were in. Yeah, there's the Cuphead. Dude, this is dope. That they added. I like that. I really like. Oh, he shoots with. That's so cool. That's so dope. They the model looks like a new character. You see the mouth doesn't close or anything. He's got a soundtrack. He's got a fucking soundtrack. I didn't even see that, dude. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I'm happy about.
はい、今回
Cuphead.
新
This
しく
time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume.
And they got the
And for
flower,
those of you who purchased
flower
the
boss.
Cuphead costume,
one.
an additional song will be added. It's called Floral Fury,
yeah,
and it's the theme
I
that
love
plays when
Floral
fighting
Fury.
Cagney Carnation.
That's so good.
I hope you enjoy these as well.
I'm so happy that you did this. Thank you, Sakurai.
After purchasing a costume, I recommend using the sharing
every
feature.
time I'm gonna go on Smash, I'm just
If
gonna
someone
play
has
that
created
song.
a Mii fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it.
すぐにそのコスチュームをすることができます。
And now, onto the amiibo.
Nice. I already pre-ordered Dark Samus.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah. It
Dark
looks-
Samus and Richter are planned for release on
It looks a
Friday,
little
January
weird. I don't know.
17th.
No, I'm kidding. I need Richter too. I need to get him.
はい、そして今回
And now, with the addition of Byleth, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete.
Yes.
The lineup
So,
is Joker, Hero,
is there
Banjo
more?
and
Is there
Kazooie,
more info?
Terry
or we
Bogard,
just
and Byleth.
that I want more, please.
From more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added.
Yes.
だけれども、もともとが
But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience.
Yes.
And since the roster was
Yes.
already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on.
やれる限りのことをしたつもりです。実際、
There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there?
一つの
When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different.
動きが
Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play.
新しい遊びを提供するということを目指しています。そして
As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line.
Yes.
I had
can
thought
you-
that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well,
Oh.
have a look.
ください。
I like it. I'm just gonna tell the details. Oh! 6! 6 fighters!
なんと
Looks like there'll be
Shit.
one more fighter than last time.
Sakurai, thank
For this reason,
you!
we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so
Oh,
please
that's
keep
a
an
long
eye out.
time.
And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development.
Dude, I'm gonna be 21
Of
by
course,
the time.
like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that
gonna
we
be
have to
21
release Fighters
years old
Pass Volume
by the
2
time all
when the
these come
details have
out.
yet to be revealed.
申し訳なく思います。ですが、前回
Like last time, I'd be very grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchased it.
Yes. I will
Furthermore, the
definitely
new additions
pre-purchase
have already been
probably
decided.
today.
Even if I receive many requests regarding potential candidates on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
ですが、
I just Fire
But I
Emblem.
still hope you'll look forward to it.
Just Fire Emblem.
We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Oh.
Last time, it was a Rex costume. But
Yeah.
this time, here's what we have.
Oh.
ゼルダの伝説
Oh,
It's a
okay.
Mii Fighter
Okay, cool,
costume
cool.
for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda
I
Breath
mean,
of the
that's
Wild.
alright. That's something.
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Right. I mean, it's okay. Lastly.
スマブラスペシャルは
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest-selling fighting game in the world.
Yeah. I heard
Personally,
something like
I don't
that.
know if it counts as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world.
Yeah, that was this thing.
今まで、ストリート
Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate.
スト2といえば
There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game.
捉えるのか
It's up for discussion.
なので、
So, who knows?
えー
But when it
very
comes to a
honorable,
single piece of
Sakurai,
software,
to
it seems like Super
consider-
Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1.
The other ones.
ですが、
Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game.
Right.
ファイティングの
I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming or something else entirely.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters.
非常に感慨深いものを覚えています第一シーズンの終わり
The
で
first Fighters Pass just wrapped up,
がやっぱり
but it was decided that there will be more DLC,
これからも休みが
which
な
means
さそうだ
no breaks for
と思
me.
っています
Nope.
I plan to keep working hard, so I hope you can continue to support
No
us.
breaks.
それでは
And
That's
no
it.
capes.
Thank you.
But no breaks. Well. Alright, that happened. Fuck. Like, definitely fuck, dude. What's that? Oh, there's an expansion pass for Fire Emblem. Well, maybe that does make sense why they did Fire Emblem. It was kind of a sponsor thing. I don't know. That's cool. I like it. I'm gonna get it right now and listen to Floral Fury for probably a couple hours. Yeah, and try, Byleth. Wait, it came out today, I believe. Yeah, no, it came out. That'd be weird if they didn't release it today. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go play that. I'm gonna go do that.